So today we will be starting off looking at some of the basics based on the type of equipment that you should be using. So as you will have seen from some of our earlier videos, traditional Kandi is made using what is called pony beads. Okay, so pony beads are plastic beads. You get them in all different colours. You're looking for a 6mm to 9mm bead. These ones here. These plastic beads are not pony beads. If you compare these to these beads, now although they have the same size hole, they're actually much narrower. Okay, and they actually look a bit cheaper. They're not made as well. They're a very thin plastic. These are solid, they're waterproof, they're very, very durable. Okay, so when it comes to thread, I'm quite fussy with the thread that I use. I like high quality when I make my Kandi, and Central Treasures is known for having very high quality products. So when you buy pony bead sets, you tend to get this plasticky transparent thread that comes with it. There are two different types that you might get. There's this Crystal Tech, and then there's this I'm not even sure what this one's called. It's just, I call it cheap. I'm not a fan of it. It's a slightly flatter plastic transparent thread, and the reason I don't like this is because it stretches a lot. This is just me pulling the same piece. So you see, there we go, I'll give you about an inch, and you can pull it and 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 pull it, which you think is great, but when it goes back, can you see it's twice the length it was originally? So over time this will keep stretching and stretching and stretching, and all of your bracelets will become too big for your bracelet, too big for your wrist. They'll be too big for your neck if you make a necklace. Your key rings, the beads won't all sit very nicely together anymore. It won't be quite tight and compact. You'll end up with gaps between them. So this thread I'm actually not a fan of. This is the plastic thread that's quite flat. Yeah, it's just not great. It just stretches over time. So this is the same piece, this is the same inch, and it's just still, even now, it's getting larger and larger. So I would not recommend using this at all, ever. The Crystal Tech, again, it's one that you can get free with a lot of the sets. Now, it is transparent, it's rounded. Again, it's not as stretchy, but it does have quite a bit of give to it. Okay, I'm not a fan of using this very often. I find tying it, you have to tie the knots really super tight to make sure that they don't come undone. However, this is actually really good when you get into some of the more complex projects and you've got thread showing that you don't want showing. So for example, in later videos you'll see me doing whiskers on my Hello Kitty cats. I will tend to use this or black thread so that the thread isn't showing. I prefer using elastic cord. It's very stretchy, but as you can see, it always goes back to its original size. Okay, but I can stretch it, so it's fantastic. When we knot at the end, it's much easier, and because it's got fabric, it's actually much more friction, so the knots tend to hold better. You can get it in white. You can get this really cool rainbow one, which is really nice if you want to make just lots of very colourful friendship bracelets. And you can also get it in black. Okay, so what else can we add to our Kandi bracelets? So you've got two different types of letter beads. We've got our cubes, which are square beads. They can come, you can get them in ones that are separated out, or sometimes you can buy them in bulk in a bag and then you have to separate them out yourself. These are fantastic if you want to do ladder bracelets or necklaces. They're quite chunky. Some people prefer these quite a lot. I tend to only use these if I'm having to double thread through because they have larger holes. Or you can get the rounded letter beads. Again, you can get them in boxes like this where you have to then separate them out yourself. Or you can get them in ones where they're already separated. These ones tend to be more expensive when they're separated into the box. You don't get as many. You tend to get more in these, but then obviously it's your time. These plastic needles are really good when you're doing the more complex Kandi, and sometimes you might find it easy even doing your basic ones. And we all have scissors at home. We can never find them when we want to. I do tend to prefer sharp scissors, like the hairdressing scissors though. just because I find they cut through my elastic cord a lot sharper and cleaner than normal scissors, which can get quite blunt or you have to pull it quite tight. With this, cuts through it really quick, really nicely. So as you can see, I can just snip through like that and I have a really nice clean edge. As I say, they are optional, but that is my preference. Once you've got all your bits and pieces, you should be good to go. We can start making candy.